Arteta?
It has to be. I think it was a really good process, really well-run process. I think it gave the opportunity to them to explain how they felt, myself how I felt as well, and the reasons behind it. And okay, the outcome is that I'm not charged, but I think we have to draw a line as well and look for how we can be much more constructive and learn from it and move forward. That's it. But it was good. I felt a lot of sympathy, to be fair. Once I explain as well how we feel some days as managers, the pressure that we are under, and how important details are for our job. Because I love what I do so much, and I want to continue doing it. The reality last year it was that 40 managers lost their jobs, which is incredible. And we depend on results. That's it. So when the outcome at the end is that important, we get really emotional about it because now nobody remembers what happens 3 weeks ago when you lost a game, you lost another one because of a different reason. So I think it was a really good process.
Another one on referees, but just one more, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
I sat through the 5-minute explanation of why Kai Havertz's goal wasn't given and came away thinking I might just be more confused than I was before. Are you satisfied because you weren't at the time that they got the outcome right, even if the rule doesn't seem to necessarily be working?
The handballs, anything that happens in the box has to be crystal clear. And unfortunately, even today, it's very difficult to understand what it is because there's so many things that can happen. But we are in the direction to resolve that. I think we are all very eager to resolve it in the best possible way. And I'm positive that it will happen.
Sorry, I did say one more about the ref, but I forgot another one because there will be a little bit of history on the 23rd. And when Rebecca Welsh becomes the first female to referee, I wondered what your reaction to it is. Kind of, I guess, the diversity, the impact of it, the history making, what she might bring differently.
I think it's a great news. With Rebecca, all the best in this new experience. I think the feedback is going to be really positive. I think what women's football is on and the diversity that we have now is incredibly positive for the league, and I think it's something that was needed.
It feels like a long time ago, but it was we see a defeat last time out at Villa. But what we've seen from your side this season is that when you have, on the rare occasions, lost, you come back well. It's 6, isn't it, wins? It's that Newcastle. What is it about your side this year, and that kind of must give you quite a lot of confidence going into the weekend?
That we will try. We'll try to play our best, and we love winning. And the team is desperate to do anything that it takes to win games. And we showed that. We showed that against Aston Villa, which, in my opinion, again, we were the better team, and we should have won the game. And we will try against Brighton, which is going to make life very difficult for us, for sure.
I wanted to ask you about Brighton. Last 3 visits to the Emirates, they've won. What is it about that team that makes them so hard to beat?
Now they are a really good side. It's true that last year when we had the game under control is when we conceded the goal, and then the game completely broke up, and we struggled, especially in the last 15 minutes of the game. So we're going to have to play better and be very efficient, which is key against them.
Got Anita from the Premier League.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Can I get team news, please? Any updates? Is Martinelli feeling better?
Martinelli's feeling good.
So will he be in contention?
Yeah. We had no other news apart from Mo. Mo had to be subbed because he felt something in his hamstring. We did a scan and it doesn't look too serious. So he's going to be with us, I think, very soon, which is good news as well.
You repeatedly tell us about the standards of this club and that every game is a must-win game for Arsenal. But given that it's Liverpool next and they are above you in the table, just how much more important is a win against Aston Villa or something?
Against Brighton. It's okay. Like every week, at the end, we have to play against every team, and obviously the schedule is what it is right now. But we have 2 big games coming up, and then we have as well the 28th and the 31st. So this period is vital around this moment in the year, and we'll try to win every game. That's for sure.
And then just finally, what have you made of Brighton's start to the season? They're 9th in the table and 10 points behind Arsenal at the moment.
I think they've been really good. I think they have taking another level. They play European football. They've been really successful. You could see last night against what they did. They've done that after selling players, after a lot of injuries. So huge credit for them, for Roberto, coaching the staff, the club, what they're doing, because it's really impressive.
George from BBC.
Thanks, Dan. Mikel, hello. In the FA report, it said that you met managers and officials 2 days before the Newcastle game and you presented some ideas. Can you just explain to us, and I think fans will be really interested to hear your ideas about what you want to improve the process going forward as a manager?
Those are private meetings that I cannot explain what we discussed in there. I'm sorry.
Okay. This may be very simplistic, but it also said that Joe Willock said that the ball was out of play. So my next question really is it time for the players to sort of take a bit more responsibility and maybe be a bit more honest, because none of this would happen, the goal wouldn't get given, you wouldn't have to do your interview. So should the players be a little bit more helpful to improve the process?
Let the players, I think they have enough. The players will say a lot of things that they have to do. Let's not put more in their plates, I think.
Okay, and the next question is just simply, why are Brighton such a bogey team for Arsenal? Because they have a habit of beating you once a season. So what is it they do specifically to cause you so many problems?
Because they are really good. They have really good players. The way of playing is very specific and cause you problems, and it takes you to a game that it's very specific, and they were efficient. After efficiency in football is key, and on that day they were more efficient than us.
Thank you.
Yeah, from TalkSport.
Hi, I hope you're well.
Yes.
Good. Would you say what you said? Now you've been cleared, and I mean, can speak in hindsight and what have you. Would you say again what you said and use the word disgrace, or have you gone home and thought, actually, maybe I wouldn't next time say exactly what I said in the way that I said it?
That's in life is too easy, isn't it? It's too easy in life to do that. What would I have done if I knew?
No,
whatever I've done?
If it happens again.
It was done. I defended my opinion. I expressed my opinion. I say again that I'm fully supportive of how we have to improve the game, and the referees are a big part of that, and they know that. Managers as well, players as well, everybody is involved, and we have the duty and responsibility to do that. And as well, it's good that we can discuss things in an open and honest way, and this is what I try to do.
If there was a league table for managers who, on the sidelines, are very passionate and sort of, behind their team and what have you, I think actually you'd be second behind Roberto De Zerbi. I've seen him a lot this season. He's very, very, like you, kicks every ball. On Sunday, is it going to be almost as fun watching you two on the touchline as it is the actual match?
I don't. That's not down to you. I think we live the game as we feel it. As when I was a player, it was very similar as well. And everybody's got his own way of being and talking and communicating, and I think it's great. As long as we are genuine, I think that's very good.
On a personal level, how well do you get on with Roberto? And how well what do you think of the job he's done at Brighton since he replaced Graham Potter?
Yeah, I know. I spoke to him a few times about different topics. I follow him in his career since he was in Sassuolo, actually, before he moved to Ukraine, and very impressive what they do. I love the way their teams play and what is accomplished in the Premier League as well.
We lost 6 points against Fulham, Sheffield, and Barley, and I can't accept it because with 6 points more, we should be in the 5th place on the table, and we could have 32 points. I think they have to believe more in themselves because they have big qualities.
We don't know what's going to happen in this match, but one thing is for sure. Brighton games have goals. 32 games in a row they've scored, and they've not kept a clean sheet in 20.
Yeah, I mean, I love watching them, I do. Probably for that reason, we've watched Tottenham tonight, but they're no different, they're going to be attacking. You're going to see some star quality players. Matoma I absolutely love. You see young players given a chance. And a manager that gives everything on the side as well. So, yeah, I love watching him and have ever since he's come in, to be honest. So I'm excited to see what they do against Arsenal, though, because I don't think Arsenal attack are free-flowing. I don't think Jesus, Martinelli or Saka are particularly in great form. I think they've been stifled a lot this season. Even though they're getting the results, Arsenal, I wouldn't say the front three are flying, though.
And Brighton have a great record at the Emirates. They've won the last 3 in all competitions as well.
I think it's a very dangerous fixture for Arsenal. I really do. I love De Zerbi. I think he's a top draw manager. I think he should be at Man United, in my opinion. I think he's that good. I think he would jump to that chance as well. He really would. I mean, he's got a playing identity, what they're crying out for at United. This guy's rehearsing every time he goes onto the Premier League stage. He knows he's not going to be at Brighton for the rest of his career. He knows he wants to take a step to the big club, and it's whoever's brave enough to give him that opportunity. But I certainly would be. I think it's a really dangerous fixture. I think Mikel knows that. He knows the quality. We're talking about Matoma, Evan Ferguson, João Pedro. They've got real good players. But even players you don't know about, they don't sign bad players, Brighton. They really don't. And they've got a manager who wants to improve every one of them. So very difficult fixture. I couldn't call this one. We
haven't even talked about Gross, who's had 5 goal involvements in the last 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you said, we didn't mention him. The only thing I'd say for Brighton is that I think Arsenal rested a few of their players, didn't they, midweek? And I know Brighton had that Europa game. And so energy-wise, they might be at a bit of a disadvantage. But like we've just said there, they have quality all over the pitch. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully it is full of goals for the neutral. But like Tim said, I don't think it's going to be an easy one for Mikel.
Karen said that the Arsenal attack isn't really firing. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I just think they're not doing bad, are they? You look at the position they're in the league, it's not bad, but they're not. I think they're more stubborn. I think they're with Declan Rice. I think he helps them be more protection in the midfield areas. But Martinelli and Saka haven't reached the heights of last season. Jesus has been interrupted with injuries. Odegaard's not the same player as he was last year, but they're in a fantastic position and they will come good and they will come into a rhythm. I just hope for Arsenal fans' sake they can put a rhythm together like Man City will, without doubt, come into a rhythm as well, and they'll win 10, 15 games on the spin. Now, we don't want it to be a one-horse race again. We want it to be a lot of teams in it. At the moment in time, there is a lot of teams in it. It's very exciting, the most competitive Premier League we've had for a very long time. And long may that continue, but we need teams like Arsenal to put their rhythm together. And if they do, we need the likes of Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard to get back to their best.
What did you think about them against Villa? Because they lost there, but they also then had Saka, who you mentioned has been great at the Emirates. I think only 1 game he hasn't been involved in a goal.
Well, I think for 20 minutes, Villa dominated the game. I thought they were very much in control. But then for after that, then it was all Arsenal. It was like, come on, are you going to do it? And they dominated the game. And I think these were the chances that they had. But I think going back to Saka, though, teams in this situation, look, there's 2 or 3 players around him, and then he gets that crossing, that delivery in. But these type of goals here, they're quick throw-ins. They're kind of finding it. They're not playing through teams. Look, Saka there, 2 players on him. How's he going to break it through? A bit of magic. They're triple teaming them. And to be fair, like Tim said, they are finding a way. But if you add in the goals of Saka, Martinelli and Jesus, and you compare them to the strike force of City, Liverpool, they are behind. And I would hate it come the end of the season that those goals added up would be the difference of them not winning the league or winning the league. Because if you're going to win the Premier League, and this is a chance where for me City aren't firing, and with the squad that they've got, now is your time. This is your time to beat City and win the Premier League. So this is a great opportunity.
I agree. I think they need to put consistency together. They need to get in a rhythm, really go on the front foot. It looked like they're playing in second gear to me, but like I say, I keep going to reiterate it. They're in a brilliant position in the league. They're waiting for the race to start. The race hasn't started yet, but believe me, Man City know that as well. Kevin De Bruyne is waiting. They're chomping at their bit, waiting to come back into this side as well. And they can get Haaland fit as quickly as possible. They're going to put a run together. Everyone knows that, so you need to be on their coattails when it comes. And I think Arsenal are capable of doing it. Liverpool are. And who else? I'm not sure Aston Villa have got the quality or the experience at the moment, but certainly them 3 teams will give us a title race this season.
Very quickly, what do you think Brighton will have looked to that Villa game to replicate?
Start fast. Like I said, I thought Villa for the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes dominated the game. And if you're Brighton, you go all out first 10, 15 minutes at the Emirates. Arsenal have been slow at times over the last 18 months. I've seen early goals they've conceded and then do what Aston Villa did, be compact and defend. I don't think that is De Zerbi's style. I think he'll continue to do that nice attacking football. But first 15 minutes, go for them because Arsenal have showed some vulnerabilities in that period.
It is time now for predictions, our favourite part of Team Talks. So let's get started with you, Karen. Bournemouth versus Luton Town.
Bournemouth 2, Luton 1.
And why?
I just think Bournemouth at home in the form that they're in. I just fancy them, and I think Luton, like I said, the goal margin has only been roughly 1 or so, and they've been learning and getting better every week. But I just fancy Bournemouth.
Tim?
I think 2-0. I can't see Luton scoring. I really can't. I think the most of their goals come from set pieces. I think that Bournemouth, very organised defensive set pieces. So 2-0 to Bournemouth.
Let's start with you this time. Chelsea, Sheffield United.
Chelsea and Cuckoo back in the squad. I'm not sure he's going to start. He might come off the bench, but I think they should have too much firepower. This is a result Pochettino desperately needs. They need to beat Sheffield United. I think they're going to win 3-0.
Karen?
2-0 Chelsea.
Why?
Just at home, and I think they will get that early goal. I think it will settle the nerves, and then it's difficult for Sheffield United.
Man City, Crystal Palace.
2-0 Man City. I know they've got a few players out, but I just think at home they're so strong, and they're starting to pick their feet up again. Not that they're ever. I know they had that little bit of a bad run, but I think City at home is too good, and Palace are not on great form.
Tim?
4-0.
That's it? Okay.
No chance. No chance of Palace dropping like a stone.
Newcastle, Fulham?
Newcastle at home. I just think they're going to edge it. I think it'd be tight though. I could see possibly a 1-0 Newcastle.
2-1 away team.
Okay, so divided here then. What about Burnley versus Everton?
Everton 2-0.
Why do you think?
Just think they're in really good form, Everton. I know they've got a few players out defensively, but I just think the wide players have got too much, and the quality they have in the final third.
Scoreline for you?
1-0 Burnley, 1-0 Everton. I think they're set traps and they'll just nick the ball off them. They'll try and play out too much, and they'll just nick the ball off them, and they'll win 1-0.
All right, on Sunday it's Arsenal versus Brighton. Your prediction?
Arsenal 2, Brighton 2.
2-1 Arsenal.
So lots of goals. That's what you agree on.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is Brentford versus Aston Villa.
Aston Villa 1-0.
Okay.
I'm going to say 1-1. I think they might slip up because they're away from home, and Brentford desperate for a result themselves.
West Ham, starting with you, versus Wolves.
West Ham 1, Wolves 2.
That's what I was going to say.
I think he sets them up brilliantly away from home, Gary O'Neill, and I think they're very patient. Cunha, for me, is one of the top players in the Premier League. I really believe that. I think he can play for any top side. He's playing him in the correct position now as a number 10. I think he bursts forward. He makes them tick. I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say they'll win this game at the London Stadium.
And you agree? Why?
All of that. I really like Gary O'Neill. I like what he's done. I think sometimes they've been a bit lucky with some decisions this part of the season, but overall I think he's done really well out of them. Great on the counter-attack, organised. And I just think West Ham at this moment could go there and get a result, and I think they will.
You can take a little bit of time here because it is the headline game of the weekend, the Titanic clash. Karen, I'm going to start with you. Liverpool versus Manchester United.
4-0 Liverpool.
You got to tell us why.
Just think they've got too many goals in them. I think Manchester United away, I think the week that they've had, the injuries, the suspensions, don't know what team they're going to start with, the inconsistency, and I think Liverpool at home, front-footed, aggressive, the intensity, I think it'd be too much for United to handle.
I'm going to say 4-1, but for all them reasons, Kaz, I think they score. I think Rashford will play, and I think Rashford will score. It's going to be a difficult afternoon for Ten Hag and Manchester United team. But we know that. They got beat 7 there last year. It'll get better, but it'll be a 4-1 defeat.
Which game are you most looking forward to besides that game?
No, that one.
That's it?
There's no other